Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better. At Aquavita, visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
You know, who the hell puts Tide Pods in their mouth? Who would actually live stream a person's personal business for popularity gain or something? You know, why would anyone elevate such low lives to a higher state of existence anyway? Like they're celebrities or something. Oh, and take a look. Another Twitter holiday that doesn't apply to anyone. Isn't that great? You know something? People will do anything just to be the center of attention. And while it's initially funny to a point, it can be daunting and sad. But you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. Welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the show for episode 44. I'm your host, Jay, of course, and yeah, I might be a bit late on this, but what is it with these trends lately, man? You know, these challenges. It seems like plenty of them are designed to embarrass or harm people. Now, this is a normal occurrence for young people to do stupid things. I mean, that's just what we did. I mean, back in the day, when we all had to join up for our secret clubs or whatnot, we all have done a lot of rites of passages and stupid things. I mean, I remember fraternity life, you know what I'm saying? Not that I actually was in a fraternity, but I remember like people getting hazed and doing all these wild challenges just to fit in. And I mean, after you go through the motions, eventually you'll be in the group. And then there's a unity and a brotherhood or a sisterhood there. You understand what I'm saying? But some of these people, they just do this wild stuff just to hurt themselves nowadays. You know, the Tide Pods, putting them in your mouth. Who made this into a thing? I never thought I would see it, but you know, the fact that these kids would do this wild stuff. Like, I love some of the challenges that we've had, you know, like the mannequin challenge and the water bottle challenge. I mean, at least they involve two things that I like, such as photography and science. You know, because the water bottle challenge used weight distribution, and the mannequin challenge, you know, pretty much you're doing motion video, but the motion video is that nobody's moving. That was cool. I mean, from perspective, it's odd, but you know, some people can't do it right because they twitch their eyes and everything else, and you can tell. But I like those trends. Now, those are okay. And, you know, whenever the latest movie is coming, because, you know, we all got to watch a Marvel trailer. We all got to watch, you know, what's the latest thing. That's fine. But when it gets to the point where people are trying to hurt themselves, like, remember when teenagers were trying to go for Kylie Jenner's lips? Like, they would take the water bottle and they would put their lips in the bottle and they would use the ability to suction the air out of their lips and then come out looking like a hot mess. They think they're getting them fuller lips, but instead they're just getting a buttload of pain and just, ugh. And you know it's school photo day, so at the end of the day, whatever's there is there. See, some people don't have that good skin condition where they heal up and stuff like that. Sometimes that stuff might be permanent. Ugh. And you know, as soon as age sets in, that's not going to be pretty. Stop trying to be like the Jenner family, for instance. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for some of these people, they're born that way, or they actually get some work done. You don't need to mutilate yourself just to fit in with the popular crowd like that. Yeah, look at me, I done mutilated myself. And then you wonder why nobody really wants to date you at that point, right? Because, see, the thing about it is, there's nothing authentic at that point. You just tore yourself up for no reason. It's so sad. Next thing you know is they'll have a thing where I'm not even going to go ahead and create that. I'm not even going to go ahead and tease the idea, but I always wonder what's next, and I'm afraid to find out because damn if the future isn't scary right now. You know, we don't put as much value in education like we should, but we love putting our value into popularity, right? Because that's what this is all about. What else could it be? When we have something that's fun, on the other side of the spectrum, we have the other thing that hurts people. Especially when they go overboard. You see, because at first, when kids were just doing all that new creative stuff, now they want to be washing machines. Now, I can think of a few sick jokes here, but that would be considered too insensitive for our peers. Yeah. But there's also the side of me that thinks, what if our peers are too dense to know what that is, and I could say at least the kids went out clean? Please forgive me. Please forgive me. You know, I mean, sometimes I can be a little morbid, especially when I'm doing certain Black Label episodes. And not to say that this is a Black Label episode, but my mind is kind of dark right now. But society, you can't excuse this kind of behavior. You know, it's bad enough that there are people out there with real personal demons who are unfortunately on suicide watch. But here you clowns are, making a game out of your lives, and let me say it isn't funny. Sure, we're all going to meet our end eventually, depending on whether one of these whacked out dictators take us out or not, or, you know, whatever goes on around here, or the environment will say, you know what, humanity, you outlived your cause. We could go at any time, but you don't have to be selfish or premature about it. You know, a cheap-ass laugh is no way to guarantee respect or admiration from your peers. Now, you may get the attention, but you're not going to get no respect. After a while, you're just going to be a face in the crowd, because everybody does these stupid videos nowadays. You don't believe me, right? Now, I can include plenty of videos from YouTuber WorldStar to back this. Now, some of you are probably thinking, oh, come on, Jay. Trends help shape our identity. I agree with you to a point, somewhat, but do you need a new one that badly? Now, if you're going for a trend that could make you healthier, you understand what I'm saying? Such as like meal prepping. That's good. That benefits. That actually works out, because some people need that portion control. Anything else, it helps save you money too if you're planning for all 7 days. That's good. But if you're one of them kind of people that say, hey, let me drink this bottle of 409 and see how I go. Now, Shoe Nice, he can do that wild stuff because he's crazy. But for those of you that aren't about that life, why the hell would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we all had that meme about drinking bleach, but you don't have to do that. It's just not worth it in the end, especially if you're putting it on camera for some lame-ass views. I mean, do you need a new identity that badly? Like, outside of some of the trends that I like, such as the latest movies coming out, and perhaps some of the fashion, because, you know, that leather jacket looks freaking awesome, man. I think we're getting closer to those clothes from Back to the Future's Part 2. Which reminds me, did we get our shoes yet? See? I like some trends, but the thing about it is that what out here could drive you to the point of insanity to follow some mainstream appeals? Like, what is the one thing that humanity always looks forward to when they go for these things? I get it, popularity. Popularity. The most fickle, insipid word in the human language. The one word that everyone in grade school, from primary to secondary, wants to be A, associated with, and B, sometimes married to. The driving force for anyone is to have the awe and appreciation of everyone around them. Of course, in real life, you do know that not everybody will like you, right? I mean, you gotta understand this. Like, much like the trends that we idolize and emulate, popularity passes, and it seldom lasts long for anyone. And really, if it happens to you, the attention can be uplifting at first, but then it can get overwhelming. The spotlight is always on you, and there are moments where it won't let up, as you have to keep that false image you make for yourself. That is, until the truth comes out. And you see it all the time with a lot of these celebrities that are A-listers out here. Have you noticed that they wear disguises all the time, and then there are times where they get caught in stuff, and they're usually crazy and all whacked out? There's some truth behind that. The spotlight may have gotten to them to the point, or the after party just kind of changed them in certain ways, or really brought out the vice that was in there. Because, you know, as we are humans, we're all flawed and we're all walks of life all the time. So you realize some people can't handle that attention and that growth. You understand what I mean? And then you got to understand that, like, certain people are mostly popular not during the time as they're creating their art, but as soon as they pass on. Like Vincent van Gogh, for instance. He wasn't popular as he was making his paintings. Hell, that one that everybody throws around, Starry Night, wasn't his most famous painting. As a matter of fact, he thought it was a failure. But you see, the way we look at it is a lot different than the ones that make their art. Kind of like, you know, as I'm working on this podcast right now, you know, this could probably be one of the worst episodes to me, but to you out there, you might think about it as, hey, this is one of the best thought-provoking work he's ever done. And that would be cool, but, you know, I still got to move on to the next episode. I can't worry about, like, you know, the episodes that I've done before and whatnot. Got to keep moving. Though I love them all, you know. But as I get back into it, though, you know, it's just that some people will do anything for popularity, and popularity is fickle. You could be the toast of the town one minute, but the next minute you could be the bane of everybody's existence. It happened at Edward Scissorhands. As soon as he was there and he was doing haircuts and everything else, people couldn't get enough of him. But as soon as he got into that, I think it was when he was dealing with the town whore, Joyce. I hate to say that, but, she kind of was. She was going after everybody. She was married. You know what I mean? She wanted to go ahead and engage in intimacy with Edward. And then as soon as that happened, there was a rumor spreading around that he tried to rape her, and then all of a sudden people didn't want to hang out with the family that took care of Edward because of rumors, reasons, and all sorts of wild stuff. Just the idea of how society can be. And that right there should teach you a lesson about it. But that leads into another form of popularity I dub as fool's popularity. Now this exists when you've gained something fancy. Say like if you won the lotto, or you managed to date outside what you feel is your social circle, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So like say like if you had a beautiful significant other according to you, chances are you inherit her friends and all that kind of stuff, and her friends might not be friends, they might be enablers, and you might have a lot of enablers. I'm sure as I make my movies and as they get popular, I'm probably going to have so many relatives and so many new friends and so many people that want to join in, but they're only in it for the money and the popularity ride. Like, I'll talk about my whole thing a little bit later, but the thing about it is, as soon as you achieve something, you're going to automatically have these people that appear, and they're brown-nosing you, and they're suckling your ass. But let me tell you something. They won't be there when midnight strikes, Cinderella. As soon as all that stuff fades around, and you're back to where you were, I hope you were humble and treated all the people that were there for you right, because when you're back in that same spot again, and they're not there, now you got to rebuild, and you got to find those legitimate friends again. Because your fad will end. And it may seem sad, but this is where you learn the lesson of self-love, self-respect, and putting yourself first in value. That'll help you understand the way of the world and stay away from toxic people while identifying peer pressure. Because that's a bitch too. As I look around me, I can see plenty of people didn't bother developing this awareness. And I'll tell you why. Because to remain in fool's popularity, that allows them to be bullied, trapped, belittled, and pushed around by social elitists, and deluding themselves in every which way where they're afraid to disagree, because they feel as though as long as they stay in the good graces of somebody, that'll help keep them together. You know what I mean? Oh, well, I'm going to go ahead. I don't agree with that. What do you mean you don't agree with that? All of a sudden, what, you don't want to play Pokemon Go or something like that? Remember when Pokemon Go was the rage? Back in the day, they used to make fun of people for playing Pokemon. Nowadays, if you're of advanced age and you're not playing Pokemon Go, you're the pariah. Of course, that is until that latest update. People don't really talk about it that much anymore. But the thing about it is this. That rule applies. Because you're not a part of that popular trend, all of a sudden, now you're the odd person out. What makes it so sad is it's like, you don't have to be a part of it. It's like, you can break away from the Borg life. You understand? Society get on my damn nerves. And then when the same rule applies about somebody disagreeing with somebody, there's actually something to be admired when someone disagrees with you, right? The number one rule in Jay's logic, and keep this in mind, you're allowed to disagree with anything that doesn't make sense to you, be it popular movies, music, video games, clothes, or whatever. You have to use your independent thinking. And if you don't have that, find your mindset and develop it. Break away from your crowd for a little while to go ahead and find something you're interested in. It'll be of great importance, and take it from me, I really don't know if I'm popular or not. And now I made about what? This is the 44th episode, so I made about well over 40 episodes. I'm on my way to 50. I don't know if this stuff is popular or not. But there is a good reason behind that, right? One, I'm too busy to care. And two, I'm happy and humble regardless. I kind of like, being low-key to a point. I'm not as low-key as Dev is from the Cyclone, but the thing about it is that I have my moments where, I just like chilling sometimes. Sometimes I don't associate as much. But I do make time to do so. You see what I'm saying? And the whole point about it is, like, I went for fool's popularity at one time. You see, the thing about it is that I don't tell you all these real talk if I didn't experience most of them myself. Popularity can be a real trap and a lie sometimes. Especially if you notice that certain people are just damn disgusting to be around. You understand what I mean? Like, you want to make friends with the right people. Yeah, well, what if the right people have the wrong kind of thinking? Now, I know some of you will probably try to use that as a way to segue away from this show or J360 Radio. I'm not saying that J360 Radio shouldn't strive to be a top business, far from it. But you see, that's more of a competition thing, and my team and I have to work hard for that achievement. You see, we don't want that instant popularity. We are just as good as being authentic about what we need to do as we work on our stride, and we always keep pushing ourselves with these new episodes that we are making for you. See, that's the difference. We're earning our keep. Whereas some people, they just want to get somewhere and segue in, and they want to live off that celebrity lifestyle. And I'm using quotes on that. Because, you see, the thing about it is, as the internet developed, it's been a level playing field. The problem is, it's been a Wild West show with popularity. Because people will do any dirty trick in the book to get that popularity. So, you see, is that a part of Fool's popularity? To a point, because there's manipulation involved. But at the same time, though, sometimes the Fool's popularity comes back to haunt them because, see, they're not creating all the work. Eventually, somebody will be dejected and pissed off enough to the point where they'll say, I'm going to expose all of this. And they will. And if there's some truth to it and some accuracy, and you're right there in the crosshairs because you done went into this whole thing, oh yeah, it's going to come back tenfold because it's called the Humble Effect. Now keep in mind, I never told y'all about the Humble Effect, right? Yeah. You see, it's a moment where, like, say, like, if I got really, really arrogant, the Humble Effect will come along and kick me in the nuts. Figuratively and metaphorically. It comes for everybody. If you think that your doesn't stink, oh yeah, it does, and it does tenfold. You think that you can't be shut down? Oh, you can be. The Humble Effect comes in a different form for everybody. Because once again, your arrogance is going to be your downfall. Pride goeth before fall. You see, my Humble Effect comes in subtlety. If anything else, like say like I'm having a good day and everything's just going real smooth and stuff like that for a little bit, I guarantee in about an hour till it's over, stuff happens. You know what I mean? Like nothing goes right. Like making this podcast, for instance, will come out in any sort of way. Like there will be color in the sound or scratchiness here and there. Or there will be times where, you know, I was recording something brilliant, but it never got recorded, so it might have not been the most brilliant thing I've ever said. And that's just low key, because, you know, when yours truly used to work at the soda plant, oh, Humble Effect would happen all over the time, you know? Like, there were times I would be in such a groove that I got everything caught up for my time of being there, and then somebody would come along, grab one of the 24 packs, and the damn display would fall over. Yeah. There has been an entire mountain of Mountain Dew just coming, no, not even coming, just cascading down and practicing the law of gravity every time. And yours truly had to spend most of his time cleaning it up. Granted, I did get paid, so that was kind of easy money, but still, though, hey, I wasn't even getting paid commission at the time, so what the hell am I complaining? Yeah, I still had to clean that mess up, that's right. That stuff's not cool when it's used for other attributes other than drinking. But you see, that's only the light side of a Humble Effect. Like, say, like, okay, you see, your favorite athlete gets in trouble, gets in a game suspension for doing something really, really dumb. And it could be for the most minorest thing as is. But if he said something ignorant earlier in the week, and this finally caught up with him, that's Humble Effect. Your favorite singer, when they're on stage, and they done said something really, really stupid, like what Kanye West does now and again. And they fall off the stage, or a bottle comes and hits him and knocks him over. That's a Humble Effect. You see, the Humble Effect comes for everybody. Or like when Donald Trump says something and a whole lot of stuff just backfires on him and stuff. Now, needless to say, you got to give the guy credit on this sort of thing. He keeps going and crap. But the thing about it is, the Humble Effect for him gets bigger and bigger and bigger because he didn't learn his lesson the first time. That's how a Humble Effect does. So when you're getting your ass kicked by fate, let it happen. You're not going to win one way or another. You can try to trick it to a point, but see, the thing about it is, what I just said for Trump's example, it will get bigger if it didn't get you that first time. You know what I mean? If anything, I could put it in the symbolism of a giant boot coming either for your face, your mouth, or your ass, and then you might get that combination where all three hit you at the same time. And you know it's Monday. No, you know, usually it does happen on a Monday or something, so your whole week will be crap. It's called a Humble Effect. Some of y'all call it karma, but, the thing about it is you're supposed to learn humility from that sort of thing. But, see, the one thing about a humble effect is this. You don't really get one unless you really deserve it. And some of y'all deserve a whole conga line for a lot of the stuff that you guys put out there. And I'm not saying that to the J360 Legion. No, some of y'all are pretty decent. You know what I mean? But, you see, as we are humans and as we have these vices, realistically, there's going to be a comeuppance for the crazy things that we do. So when your humble effect happens, like I said before, just take it. Because if not, it will come back for you. And you don't want yours too big to the point where it just ruins a whole month. Because it could do that. I know from experience. The thing about it is that you want to be humble and you want to be approachable to people. You want to go ahead, you want to give good information to them. And no matter how popular you get, you want to always have that ability to relate to people, because it seems like nowadays people don't want to relate to each other because they have that attention. Having attention is not the same thing as having respect. Respect is something you should strive for, not the attention. Like if somebody's out there and they're working on their skill set and they come and they ask you some advice, that's good. But if somebody's out there coming and strong-arming to ask you about advice and stuff like that and try to make it seem like you can't do this and all this other wild stuff, which is like what fool's popularity does from time to time, that's when you need to break away and say, hell, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. I'm going to have some fun. This is my life too. This is my world as well as it is yours. That's just the rule that you don't follow. And you want to dictate to everybody all the time. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes the ones that you want to be popular around, they're bullies. And a lot of people that are in that popularity circle, they don't want to be there. And you'll know the ones. Because they're the ones that always get belittled all the time. They're the ones that always sit there like, this isn't right. I don't want to be about this. Oh, what, you going to be a punk now? Huh? You ain't going to be about this no more? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, don't even think you can get out. Because if I'm going down, you're going down. It happens. But you got to find a way to get out of that. If you ever feel as though that you are in something like that, pry yourself away from it. Because that stuff could get you killed. And it's like this. You're probably wondering what this has to do with that Tide Pod challenge. It has a lot to do with anything. Because I don't see anybody really risking their lives other than to try to fit in. You know what I mean? Fitting in is just, it's a fluid concept. Because that's all people want is acceptance. And sometimes you'll do just about anything to get it. Like there are people out there who are born overweight and they have a hard time shedding the pounds. And people will make fun of them for it. Like you got some people out there that are depressed and it could be any variety of reasons, including the overweight example I just gave you. It could be a lot of things. And they're ostracated and they're cast out from any sort of thing because, people just have a way of making fun of people who are different rather than accepting them and rather than just understanding that they have their own mindsets and they just don't agree with doing certain things, And it's so sad. Like, sometimes I sit there and I just look at those kind of people and I'm like, you can bounce back from this. It's going to hurt. It's going to be a big hurt. But that person that made fun of you, they're not going to make it through life much easier than you. I mean, there's some chance that they might not have to work for the rest of their lives, but they're probably so damn stupid, they'll put themselves in financial ruin, and then they'll be looking forward to anybody else out here that wants to go ahead and be something. You know what I mean? Like being a business owner or whatnot. You could be that business owner. You could be something great. And the thing about it is because you didn't allow yourself to get diluted or destroyed by stupid trends and popularity games to the point where you can say, you know what? Hell, I'm glad I didn't follow through with that because I got a 6-figure income and that sorry bastard over there that was popular in my grade school years works for me. You see what I'm saying? And that's how it goes. You pretty much got the benefits package in your hand that person wants. And you see, the thing about it is, things flip over from time to time. You might be at the lowest of the low now, but eventually, you might be at the highest of highs soon enough. The popularity you get might be genuine. And genuine popularity seems like it's rare, but it is possible because you got that much self-respect for yourself. And as you have that self-respect, that growth and not following trends from time to time, you're legitimate. You're real about yourself. It's just like with me myself. I don't know if I'm popular or not, but I like to hope that I helped a lot of people along the way. I like to hope that I've done some good things. And I don't want anything in return for doing good things, because to do the right thing, you really don't want anything in return except for the nature of the deed. You see what I'm saying? It's just like there's a lot of people out there I know that I could never really be friends with anymore, because they're still out there doing the same damn thing, and they're still doing stupid ideals that don't really make sense to anybody, and of course they're ostracating other people for an ego stroke. And they'll probably get views for it, because somewhere along the line the morals of our society has just slowed to a crawl, and it's all about the vices now. But it doesn't mean you have to practice it. There's a lot of things that I just had to go ahead and look at and just say, you know what, I'm better than it. And if you challenge things on education and you knew how to debate well, you knew how to disagree instead of just doing stupid challenges, the world could probably benefit from your wisdom in doing better things. Because right now, this world needs new heroes, because you got a guy in office now that just thinks this whole thing is about him, and it's not. He's in a job where technically he's supposed to be the link between a people and its government, and right now you're seeing Fool's popularity right there, because yeah, he has a cult of personality that surrounds him, but at the same time, these are public figures that are supposed to be working for the people, and the government acts like they're so divided in the government. They act like they can't hold this man accountable. They act like there's no such thing as Amendment 25. Right now, the man is showing that he's unfit, and all this stuff is starting to come out. I don't care how you buff it. It's still going to come out. And you're seeing it right now. Everybody else is trying to stay in that fool's popularity because they want to be in his good they want to be in his good graces. Oh my God, being in Trump's good graces. I can only imagine the full time for that. And that's where you realize, like, popularity can be very devious and evil once you get to the cesspool of it. But, you know, I mean, it's all about what you put values in nowadays. If you know that this is something out there that's going to kill you or is going to cause bodily harm to you or anybody else, why would you want to do it in the first place? And you better not say for them damn views, because, like, if anything else, YouTube loves to erase channels and stuff. And it doesn't take much for you to be unmade and stuff like that. Remember, everything's on a blackball kick now. Like, you know, I could go ahead and I could talk about how the opposite sex does things, or I could go ahead and talk about, like, how the black community does things. I could go ahead and talk about anything. But you see, the thing about it is, it doesn't take much for me to get blackballed and be a pariah about it. Yeah, that's right, a social pariah. Somebody that shouldn't be getting views, shouldn't be getting attention, shouldn't be getting anything. But you see, there's truth to it. Because if it wasn't true, it wouldn't hurt him as much. But you see, I can't think of one thing that doesn't hurt the average person in this country anymore. You know, without it being politically correct this or without it being politically incorrect. And I am one of the most highly politically incorrect individuals there is. And that was an ego stroke from J-Man. So, see? And right there, you know, the thing about it is, it's true. But man, like, the way this stuff goes, it's like, seemed like even though, you know, I'm 31 now, so back in the day, was I highly involved in peer pressure like this? No. This is some new crap. And after a while, you sit there and you see, like, everybody caught on to it. Everybody has reported on the story, but I try to go ahead and delve a little deeper into why we try to hurt ourselves for that popularity and that attention. I mean, it doesn't lead to acceptance. I mean, if you're going up and you're doing comedy jokes, like a good friend of mine, S. Anthony Thomas, because he's a comedian, then you should know, like, that's a good way. You're telling stories. You're being honest about it. You know? And as long as you're getting those legitimate laughs rather than the half-ass laughs, like the ones that go, or the ha-ha-ha. You want to go for the ha-ha. You don't want to go for the, because that's fake laughs. And you want to go for respect of your crowd. You don't want to go for, like, the attention of your crowd. Oh, well, you know, that's just attention. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, at least you got that attention now. Stuff like that. But who knows what the public wants anymore. But I do know this, right? Life is too precious for y'all to just throw it away for dumb stuff. And you want to know the sad thing about popularity from time to time? It's kind of hard to break the chain, because any of these popularity trends or the popularity mindset that goes on is seeped into our media that we consume every single day. Now, a cure for that is to turn that stuff off. You know that off button you rarely use? Use it from time to time. You might need it to refresh. You might need it to just get away from it all. Like, there are times I just turn everything off. It happens. Sometimes I need a break. But how many of you are actually going to do that is entirely up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here for now, because there's always going to be something else that I'm going to have to talk about. But, the thing about it is, it's good to be back on the mic again for all of you, and I'd like to thank all of you for coming in and hearing me out this week. We'll have another episode next week. Hopefully I'll be back on the normal time slot, which I'm going to strive for soon enough. But I want you all to take care of yourselves and keep moving forward and progressing into better people. And I want those of you young kids out there, put more investment into your education, into your culture. Not to the vices of our culture, but life is precious. And that goes for all of you out there. So until then, this is Jay, signing off.
Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better. At Aquavita, visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.